Time now for an in-depth look at the market news this afternoon, and for that I'm joined on the line by Dr. Kim Young-han, Professor of Economics at Sungkyunkwan University. Professor Kim, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
So uncertainties growing, of course, because of the spread of the coronavirus. Wall Street stocks, though, bouncing back overnight by over 1%. Looks like that sent Korean stocks higher today as well. Take us through the markets today.
Yes, it's true that the global stock market has been rebounded after such a kind of sharp drop in the previous days. But when you consider the general development of the whole economy and also the policy approach to control the coronavirus, we cannot really observe real positive material sign that the whole situation is really getting better. So in considering all those backgrounds, we might interpret this rebound as just a kind of technical rebound after a rather sharp drop in the previous days. But it's true that there is some criticism that the latest response in the market is a somewhat exaggerated and negative exaggeration of the possible damage of the economic damage of the coronavirus. But still, the kind of developing situation seems to be somewhat out of our expectations. So, although we cannot really provide any solid, concrete prediction for the market development, I think so we should be prepared for all possible kind of development, the worst case and the somewhat positive kind of upturn.
So likely a bounce back based on technical factors rather than a substantial change in the situation. But Korean businesses are nervous about this coronavirus situation. Those with business in China are taking emergency measures to protect their staff. How is this affecting Korean businesses, and what will happen to them if this outbreak drags on?
Well, already I would say the Korean industry, especially in the tourism industry and retail industry, is suffering some negative shock caused by the coronavirus. And as you mentioned, if this kind of situation is not controlled in short term and all the negative shock is getting more elevated to expanded kind of emergencies, I think we might think about much more kind of a bigger size of negative shock, even including the negative shock in Korean firms' production capacity, since majority of the Korean conglomerates has their major production facilities located in China. So currently, say at this kind of stage, and the short-term effect will be somewhat limited to the tourism and the tourism-related industries and retail industry. But if this situation cannot be controlled in short term, yes, I think we should be prepared for real massive scale of negative shock, even for a kind of big negative shock in production capacity of the Korean kind of conglomerates. So I think this is another big lesson that we should take new approach in terms of locating our production facilities and other corporate facilities. Currently, we might say all major Korean firms are too heavily located in China, so this has been a good chance for Korean firms to kind of take a new approach in global business.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's hard to tell how this is going to end up, though tourism certainly in the short term will suffer. But South Korea's consumer sentiment, in other news, we see it's up this month by the most in 4 months, now well into positive territory. What do you see in those numbers, and what's your outlook in the near term?
Yes, it's true that the number itself, this consumer kind of sentiment index, has been increased to 104.2. So that's definitely a good sign. But that's just a kind of sentiment index, not really followed by the positive upturn of the consumer consumption. So, well, again, I think we should not exaggerate these changes in consumer sentiment index. This sentiment index might play some role in predicting the real changes in the consumers' behavior in their domestic consumption. But till now, we cannot observe any real kind of sign for the upturn of the consumer consumption, domestic consumption. So instead of being excited by this change of the index, I think Korean government should make more efforts to provide a real positive inputs, not just in massive increase of the massive money supply, but also in more organized efforts to boost up the general economic activities, definitely starting from more organized efforts to boost up the Korean industrial competitiveness.
All right, Professor Kim, we'll have to leave it there for today. Thank you for sharing your insights. We appreciate it.
Thank you.